Welcome back to Stock and Real Podcast in collaboration with Palm Wine Central Podcast, the podcast where we dive into the stories that sit between life's messy moments. I'm your host, Uncle AK, and with me, I got my other book club readers, co-hosts. Barbara, how you doing?
I am wonderful. Happy Saturday. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope everybody is well and enjoyed your Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so happy. See, how you doing?
I've seen better days. But
Better days shall come.
Eggs.
I shall. Josie, how goes you?
I'm good. Excited for the book and the review.
Okay. Well, we are talking about Colleen Hoover's Regretting You, a story about a mother and daughter so far apart that they might never come back together, or will they? Today, we're exploring family secrets, first love, grief, betrayals, and whether you can ever truly forgive the people closest to you. Later, we'll answer, is Morgan a bad mom? Should Clara have forgiven her father? Can you love someone and regret them at the same time? So listeners, you're not alone if this book hits a nerve. Stick with us. Let me paint the plot a little bit, right? What is Regretting You? The setup. So Morgan Grant is 35, got pregnant at 17, married young, and spent 18 years playing it safe. Her 16-year-old daughter, Clara, is everything Morgan feared. Rebellious, passionate, in love with Miller Adams, her boyfriend, and we'll explore if it's a bad guy or not. So the incidents or inciting incidents in the book. Chris, who is Morgan's husband, and Jenny, who is Morgan's sister, died in a car accident. But then the affair died in a car accident, and then the affair was revealed. Chris and Jenny were having a secret affair. So Chris, Morgan's husband, is having an affair with Jenny's sister. With Morgan's sister, who is Jenny. And so the conflict, Morgan keeps this secret from Clara, her daughter, and their already fragile relationship shatters. So Clara believes her mom is involved with Jonah, who is Jenny's fiance, and misreading comfort for infidelity. Resolution, something that we'll get to at the end as we unpack this book. We'll try to uncover the truth, see where forgiveness lies within the passages, second chances, new love, and a mother-daughter relationship that's been rebelled on honesty. Let's get started, y'all. I want us to start like this. Morgan and Clara, who do you guys sympathize with more? My first question goes to Therese. Right. Morgan, she sacrificed everything for Clara at 17. She's trying to protect Clara from her own mistakes. She loses her husband and her sister in one moment, and she then carries that burden of the affair secret alone. So, is her decision to hide the affair from Clara, her daughter, protective or controlling?
First of all, I would say I sympathize with Morgan more, right? Because she lost a lot in the fight. Well, in the whole scenario, not in the fight. Second, I think it was protective she was trying to protect her daughter from the truth, which she, as an adult herself, was having a hard time reconciling. So I'm guessing she imagined a teenage girl, how's that gonna turn her whole world upside down? So I do think that she was protecting her.
Okay. Josie, what do you think? Was she being protective or controlling?
She was being protective. And one thing that I'm finding out is that, or I will use this proverb. They say what the adult saw sitting down, the child standing up would not see it. Okay? And that's how it is with Morgan. Morgan has been through that life, and Clara is just about hitting 17. So in her world, her mom had no control over them. And so that influenced her decisions at 17. So to her, she's feeling like, I don't want to be like my mother. I want to have control over my daughter so that she doesn't make the same mistakes I made. So yes, there might have been some overprotectiveness, but she was protecting her from going down the same path that she did. And that's the thing though, is Morgan has been through that life and she knows the consequences. So Clara is trying to see what's top of the tree when Morgan has seen the top of the tree.
Well put, well put. I like that. How do you call it? The proverb? Is it a proverb thing that you use? Yeah. Sometimes it's annoying though, but it always, finds way to make sense. So, let me swing the bat across a little bit, or the tennis ball across the field a little bit. Barbara, Clara's perspective, right? Let's look at her perspective. She's a teenager already struggling with overprotective mom. She loses her father and auntie, and nobody's telling her why. She's navigating first love while grieving. She feels betrayed by both parents. Her dad had an affair. Her mom lied. So here's a question for you. How much responsibility should a 16-year-old bear in family trauma?
None. Absolutely none. Did they have to let her know what was going on? I think yes, because I think it would have helped with processing her emotions, especially at the beginning. She had assumptions which led her down because those questions were not answered and those assumptions were not clarified. It led her down a spiral herself as we uncover the book with her meeting her boyfriend and her actions and everything else. You will see, because she was struggling. And so I do understand the mother not wanting to shield her from knowing the truth. But on the other hand, them letting her know what was going on probably would have helped her process that. But her carrying the burden of it, I don't think any child should carry the burden of whatever trauma is going on. It's just not right. She should not have to bear all of that.
Okay. Let's explore that a little bit, right? Therese, do you agree with what Barbara said? And if you do, anyways, if you agree, explain why.
I do agree. It's, well, my answer is two parts, right? Coming from Morgan's side. Morgan, I think, was not just protecting her daughter. She was protecting her daughter's image of her father, right? Because she said that if she told her, like, her dad, which is funny enough, her dad and her aunt were her two favorite people. She told her aunt everything. So for her, she was looking at it like, okay, whatever memory she had left of these two people that loved her the most, if she tells her this, it's going to shatter that. And then now what? And so she was willing to be the bad guy and let her assumptions run as wild as possible, as long as she kept those two, protect their memory, right? On the flip side, that was not good for her because her daughter hated her even more. And they are the only two people left on earth. So she ran a risk. If she had not told her daughter the truth, she ran the risk of just never having a relationship with her child. Now, I'll say, yes, she should tell her the truth because both the two people are dead and it was just two of them left in the family, right? But if the situations were changed, I would say probably not yet. I don't think that that's something that any child should get to know.
Okay. I agree with you. But let me dig again a little bit more. Shozi, do you think anywhere along this, the mom could have at least told her that, okay, your dad and auntie died in a car accident, without actually revealing the entire story, but at least letting her know what the foundation, right, of what this act of, what really happened during the accident. So at least she can not spiral because she has a lot going on, love and this and the third. And being that the mom knows all of that, like, could she have helped her cause a little bit so that she doesn't spiral the way she did?
From the way the book is projected, right? Okay. The mother found out that Clara was blaming herself for the accident later on, after she had spiraled out of control. So there was some miscommunication in there. She said, if you want, there's a point where Clara is like, that's a lie, and something like that. I'm paraphrasing, but then she said, I can show you the police report if you want. Like, your dad was driving, so it's not Auntie Jenny. So because Clara kept thinking that because she was texting Auntie Jenny, that's the reason why they had the wreck. So nobody can read another person's mind. So this is a guilt that she's carried all along. If at some point there was a open situation, open conversation that said, hey, this is how the accident happened, this is the police report. But that's the thing though, is she's 16. How much information do you share with a 16-year-old who might not have the emotional maturity to grasp it all? So you might think you're being open, but you're burdening them with details, but you don't know what details they need to close the chapter that they are currently in, or to get closure. So it's a seesaw kind of thing. Yes.
So the way I look at it, right, like it's something T said earlier. If she told the daughter, just flat out mentioned to the daughter that the parents had an affair, it would have destroyed her, because you said in the book, which is correct, her two favorite people in the world were her dad and her auntie.
Yes.
And so the woman was trying to, I think she was doing the best, looking for the best solution to make sure she doesn't destroy her daughter's heart. She doesn't make the daughter just more heartbroken more than the way she is. And she chose what she did and said, I'd rather she hates me than me break her heart that way. But you look at the flip side now, her not telling the daughter that just made the thing a lot more worse. I did think about it, because I struggled with this particular question. I was reading the book. I kept saying that she should have just told her what was going on. I think it would have made everything a lot more easier. Until I was sad again and I thought about it. I'm like, that is not an easy thing to sit and tell a 16-year-old though. If that was my child, I would not want you to tell that. I will sugarcoat that for as long as I can go to make you think you're, again, not for you to have that image of your dad, and to shield you from that, because even as an adult, what those two did, that's quite heartbreaking. So, yeah.
Okay. So the one thing I want to add is that she blamed her mother, or I think the Clara blame of Morgan happened when she thought that Jonah was cheating with her mother. I think that's where that perspective came. Because if there hadn't been a Jonah in the picture, or if there hadn't been that scene in the kitchen, Clara would have continued with her grief in her own way. And Morgan would have been able to hold on to the secret to protect the images of Chris and Jenny. But I think she wanted to low-key exonerate herself, but also let her know that Jonah is grieving because he lost his fiance, but also because he's stuck with somebody else's child. And this is the reason why. So, two grieving people just happen to be in the kitchen and emotions ran wild, but there is a backstory to it.
Can we say he was stuck with his best friend's child? Let's just add that there.
Yeah, his best friend's child. Yeah.
This was his best friend. That's like, but that's very important.
Yeah. So that's the backstory to the Clara spiral, because it's after the Jonah and Morgan event in the kitchen that she now said, oh, I'm going to be rebellious. I'm going to be the person she's going to hate. All of that stuff.
Yeah.
But
Jonah was concerned. Jonah told them to, sorry, Uncle Ike, okay, sure. Jonah did tell Morgan to let her know though.
Yes.
Yeah. Jonah said, I was like, I don't know if that's a guy thing, but he's like, yeah, you got to tell her.
I think also he was tired of carrying that secret.
Yeah.
He was like, they did me so dirty, I have no business protecting their memory. So Jonah was ready to let it all go from day one. Morgan was the one who begged. I said, let's hold this, but he was like, to hell with
So in
both.
this situation, right? In this situation, let me spark up a little debate here real quick. You have two entities. You have a parent, right, who says, well, you don't have a kid, so you won't understand the need for me to protect my own, right? But the other guy's like, no, you should actually say it, because the more you hold on to it, the more you make your relationship dynamics fragile, or you can't really do what you need to do. Like say, for example, fall in love, like move on, things like that, right? So as we discuss it, and as Josie said, what an older person will see on the highest ladder, a younger person cannot see standing down, which I mentioned that sometimes I debate. I feel as though in this situation, if we talk about just being forthcoming, I feel as though they could have been forthcoming and telling, it's a 16-year-old, right? That just want age to be able to, well, 16 can drive, 16 can make certain decisions and stuff like that. So I feel as though they can also tell that 16-year-old exactly what happened, which could be a huge stepping stone in that 16-year-old actually regaining their self-confidence, self-purpose and things like that within this story, right? Without her actually knowing that, I felt as though that pushed her to make different life decisions, like for example, losing her virginity, which we'll talk later on in the book, things like that. So holding on to it just kept prolonging and kept, making the child rebellious and doing all these different things. So I felt as though she should have told the child, and then also to knowing that Jonah, which I guess, let me ask this, right? Jonah's dilemma. Let me ask this. Jonah's dilemma. Would you come back for Elijah? Elijah is the kid. What's his name?
Chris' father?
Jenny.
Chris and Jenny.
Chris and Jenny's
Chris and
father.
Jenny. There you go, Chris and Jenny. Yep.
Yeah.
So Jonah discovers his son Elijah might not be his biological child. He could be Chris's. Despite this, Jonah chooses to stay in Elijah's life and pursue Morgan, right? Is this selfless or selfish? T, that would be your question. And then Barbara, you will take, can you truly move on from betrayal without the person who betrayed you? Can you truly move on from betrayal with the person who betrayed you with? And then Josie, you will take, what makes forgiveness earned versus rushed? So let's start with T. Is this selfless or selfish? And explain which one you pick.
I would say it's convenience. Yeah. It was just convenient for him to come back for Elijah. Because what else are they going to do with that child? From pregnancy, he moved. He was in a different state. Where Jenny said she was pregnant, he moved. And God came and lived with her, proposed to her and everything. Born, and he knew that baby was his. What else is he going to do? Put the child in the system? I mean, and he wants the child to grow, with family too. So there's the sister, there's his father's wife, or his half mother, or what, I don't even know what that relationship would look like. I think it was just the most convenient thing for him to do.
Convenient in the sense that he's about to use that to crack Morgan, or convenient just that,
Now, a little backstory. He and Morgan were the ones who were actually supposed to end up together. But then I think something happened in school and Chris jumped the gun, and then remember it was just the prom night and he slept and she got pregnant. So they really were not, Chris and Morgan really were not in a thing. She had a thing instead with Jonah.
I thought okay.
Yeah, they had a thing. That's why they ended. She was like, it has always, if you fast forward towards the end, he's like, it has always been you. But, blah, blah, blah. And then the sister wanted, so he just, out of respect, he backed off. That was the whole reason why he moved, because Morgan got pregnant. So he fell back. He was like, I can't watch another man be with the woman I love, blah, blah, blah. He moved, and the sister seduced him, and yam done, and the whole thing.
Wait, something does not add up in that story for me, right?
Yes.
Right. Something does not add up in that story for me. And it's this. You're going to move halfway across the country because you love a woman. Did he know that Morgan was pregnant before he moved, right? So why are you moving if you know that you're about to father this child? Why are you moving in the name of you are loving somebody else, right? That was my first question that came to mind. And then the second one that came to mind was, bro, you don't have any sense of calendar in your head. This woman comes and she's begging you to come back, and then that she's pregnant. When did you have sex with her? It's not adding up in your head. Like you're just going to run and come back and say, okay, this, and then it takes all the way for the accident to happen for you to find out that you're not the pops. And then he says that when the kid smiles, he sees Chris's face. It took for Chris to die for you to see his face in that kid?
Yeah, because he was not, sometimes if you're not looking for it, you don't find it.
Exactly.
Right. And the sister was very calculative. Remember, she slept with Chris, found out she was pregnant, and then a few weeks or so later, Jonah's dad died or something.
Yes.
She traveled and seduced him and slept with him. So a few weeks difference, nobody was really thinking about that. So she purposefully traveled, went and met Jonah and slept with him. And that's how she hooked him with that pregnancy. And being the upstanding guy that he was like, okay, the next best thing was to be there for her and the kids. So he moved back. So that's why he wasn't even paying attention to anything. And they hid it so well that it was only after the fact that they started putting pieces together, like, this should have raised the flag. This should have, okay, how come she always knew what the husband liked, his best thing? She was always, all of those things always started clicking when they were actually looking for it. There was no reason for suspicion.
Okay. True. Still very debatable in my head, though. Like, very debatable. I've been going back and forth, with this whole story in my head. I'm going, something just don't add up somewhere, man. Like, one person cannot just be
Let
this.
me tell you, in the spirit of
absent-minded.
Josie, let me throw a proverb. Our people say that only the mother of child
thank you
knows the father of the child. So if a woman wants to give you a pregnancy,
yes,
give it to you.
Yes.
I don't care if you pull a calculator. If a woman wants to give you a pregnant, she will give it to you. It's just that.
Yeah, and then adding to that, right? A woman can tell you she's 34 weeks, but she knows that she's 38 or she's 36 or she's 30, whatever it is. How you gonna know? Because when she says, oh, I'm giving birth, you think, oh, she's coming early. No, that's the time. It's just she has done what she needs to do and the baby is here and let's move on. Yeah, so exactly what he said. The mother knows who knows.
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. My brain works. It's the reason why I love math so much. Because I will calculate the shit out of what somebody tells me at a given moment. Like, I will calculate it, like what you're telling me will take my mind back, and I'll start like putting things together and asking myself all the necessary questions and expand my mind and say, guy, go and do what a woman would do in this situation. Go and fetch for information. And that's what most guys don't try to do. They just hear things and then they sit on and be like, oh yeah, everything. No, bruh, like, think back to, matter of fact, what would a woman do in this situation? That's what you should ask yourself. What would a woman do?
See, and sometimes, to your point, sometimes that will help the situation. right? If a man can just think back. Do you get what I'm saying? Now, if you're having a full-term baby at 34 weeks, you're not even thinking straight now. You played yourself as the man because you like, okay, that baby should be heading to NICU or something. You get what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, as much as you calculate it, right? She can lie. The first thing they start calculating. It's not an exact science. Let me put it that way first. It's not an exact science. They'll say, when was your last period? That's when they start calculating. She can put it anytime. They'll be like, oh, your baby is underdeveloped in the ultrasound for 24 weeks. It's not growing. It's not. All those things can change in a split. So it's not really an exact science. As much as you would think that nobody can, you are not exempt from the rule. There's no man under the sun that is exempt from that rule. If a woman wants to hook you with a pregnancy, unless I don't care what it is that you have. Now, thinking might do that, but it's very possible that you have not a single clue. Only DNA test can help you.
Yeah, DNA tested.
That's why I say only DNA test can help you.
That's why when she went, when she hooks you with it, I know we're going out of topic, I will get right back here, but when she hooks you with it, you don't have to stress because the kid will be born. So when the kid is born, just do your DNA test, and very simple thing.
Which I wonder why Jonah never did though, because when when he found out that she was pregnant, my thought was, okay, he about to ask for a DNA test, because how convenient it is that you show up out of the blue after how many years? Yeah. And sleep with me and you're pregnant and he's moving and everything. I'm like, this dude is not asking for DNA test or paternity. Like, I was like,
Jonah solved.
I'm like, so there's this thing where you say, if they have not given you any reason to think otherwise, why would you go looking for it? Have you guys thought about that? That maybe the other, because you see how Morgan and Jonah, nobody figured out both Chris and Jenny were sleeping together. It's because in the head things just seem normal, right? It was just that normal. That's how they have been kids. They did not give them any reason to think otherwise. It's when they died and they found out that they were cheating. That's where they flaxed already in their head. So
I beg to differ.
I think Jonah played himself.
I beg to differ.
He should have done his due diligence, right? But he came and they had a one night stand. People get pregnant for one night stands all the time.
Yes, true.
So
because even he himself, when she showed up, he was like, I've not spoken to this lady
for a long time. Yes. That should have raised the flag, right?
But all of a sudden, she's here, and the first thing she wants to do is sleep with me. The next thing, she goes back
and is pregnant. Yes.
So, but then
don't think nothing. You just pack up and you move states. I'm just like, bro.
No, she came to his dad's funeral. So maybe, grieve. I'm sorry.
Yes,
hug, and one thing led into another. So to him, he's feeling like, okay, she came and things took a turn. He
took advantage of her for his grief. He's still
grief those things, so whatever they did, but so I don't think he needed to do a DNA test because Jenny did not give him a reason to think otherwise,
Yeah, that's true.
If it was my brother, I would have requested that DNA.
Both of them are mumus, both of them are mumus, because there is no way that me and my brother, we dating two different girls, and my brother finds fun in my girl versus his girl, and that's supposed to be a normal thing. Like, I get it that I don't control friendships and all whatnot, but in the sense of relationships, that is not a normal thing. We cannot be sitting like this and then you come and yank my own girl when your girl is there, like, let's go be taking shots and all whatnot. No, grab your girl, go take your shots with your girl. You know what I mean? So things like that, when you keep doing things like that, they raise flags. What do you mean by they didn't have anything to suspect? Everything was lined up for them to be suspicious about.
That is your calculative mind, right? You say you do process things, you think about things like that. They did not. They were just, and they were young. They were teenagers.
Then that's that naive mind.
Yeah,
it's that naive mind, right? No. Teenagers became adults. Adults lost people and grieved. And even in their losses, they were still refusing to uncover things. You understand? So when I read the book, it's not about them not wanting to. It was just they both share. They both shared a level of what's the word I'm looking for? Dum that I don't know.
Hold on. In the adulthood, right? We did not have like a huge chapter of the adult. We had a good chapter of the teenage years. They were teenagers. We were not thinking. If you fast forward to the adulthood, Jenny comes to Morgan's house frequently. She's the sister. She's always there. It doesn't really tell us that you see all of that they talk, the friendship, or whatever they were doing. The adult part tell us that we did exactly what we were doing as teenagers, as adults, and
that's
Jenny.
Why would you go and buy? Why would you go and buy?
Yes, in hindsight, when she was thinking, they actually give us glimpse in their adult life. And the wife was like, this is actually making sense.
Yeah.
Because she was the one, she was always buying, when she wants to buy her husband a gift, her sister always knew exactly what to get the man. That helped her purchase it. Her sister they would sit at the dinner table and ask something to the man. The sister responds. Her head was like, how does she know that and I don't? She started checking. Every time the man was out, she was out. It was a whole lot of coincidences.
Yes, very, 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 very much. I mean, let's not even go far. Yes, we are all family. But does not change the fact that you use your money to buy your house and I use my money to buy my house. I don't need you to fucking be at my house every goddamn time. Just give me my space, bro. You know what I mean? Give me my space. You don't gotta be in my house all the time. Why? Go live in your own. So you being in my space all the time is for what?
Jenny, but then though it's just the two of them.
Right.
You know,
she was Jenny's mother.
Yeah.
Morgan was Jenny's mother. She's been like that since they were teenagers.
Yeah, and then Morgan helped Jenny.
What do you mean Morgan was Jenny's mother?
She brought Jenny to help raise her. Yeah,
she raised her.
It was just them two.
Yeah, the mother died, and the mother was just.
You guys are putting a whole lot of insinuations in here. I'm just looking
at it. It was in the book.
It was in the book. It was said in the book.
I'm not denying, but I'm looking at his face. Like my mom raised me, but I'm at my mom's house every goddamn day. No, look. All I'm saying is this.
Some sisters, it's her sister.
Again, this is what I'm telling you, right? This is where some of you will fall prey for these type of things. You are sitting there, sister. How many times will you have to see examples like this to understand that some sisters are really grimy like that?
You know what, Uncle Eke, I cannot fault you. You are right. I have fallen victim to that because I did not shine my eye. You are right. It was not my sister, by the way. None of my sisters. But you're right. Because I think sometimes it helps to be a little paranoid.
True.
I think it's good to sprinkle a little bit of paranoia on everything. And then when you analyze, it helps you remove yourself from the situation and get like a third party view. Then you can sense, okay, if everything looks kind of normal, okay, then I'm just tripping. You walk back in, or you can ask somebody like, okay, this is what I've seen. Like, does this look weird or am I tripping? But you're right. If you're in it and you're not looking at it with that paranoia mind, you fall victim for it.
It's not even about
absolutely true.
See, I agree with you, but it's not even paranoia mind, right? It's just boundaries, fam. Like, just set boundaries. You know what I mean? Basic boundaries. Your sister should not have the same level of access to your husband as you do. I'm sorry. There's no world where that's normal. There is no world. I don't care how you paint that picture. It would never look right to me. It would never sit right on the wall for me. There's no way.
We're thinking sister. We're thinking my sister, his sister.
Your sister will
right.
shock you.
That access was a little too much.
Okay. Yeah.
It's almost like she groomed her to take over her family. Because even her daughter was closer to the aunt than she was to the mother. The husband, the same thing. And she was just like, well, at least her daughter is talking to somebody. She didn't have a mother. So that was the excuse she gave herself.
So wait, let me ask you guys this question. Really. And this goes to you too, Babs. Will you take this one first? You have a sister, correct? You have a sister, correct? Okay. Let's say, for example, you're dating right now and your boyfriend or your fiance, when you guys are sitting, well, yeah, you don't drink. Perfect example. Your fiance comes and constantly drags your sister to go take shots, to go dance. And that happens often. You will sit there and say, haha, that's my boyfriend just being friendly, being family, being nice. That's what will go on in your mind.
Is it crazy if I say
No, you answer the question. Don't say, answer the question. It's a very straight question.
okay, will I think it's strange that he does that?
Would anything tickle your mind? Would you think of anything about it? Or would you just see it as something usual, like a normal day?
Honestly, I don't think it would tickle my mind though. That's the thing. Actually, don't.
I have one on the list for falling prey for such things. T, what about you?
Like I said, I have fallen prey to that. So now I'm more watchful, I should say.
Yeah, Josie, what about you?
Okay, so okay. Now I'm gonna look at it from both sides. One, Morgan always felt like she was not fun, right? And so being with Chris, she always seemed like the outsider. So having Jenny there, who is also her sister, keep Chris company, felt like, oh, okay, they're doing fun stuff. They're going out. They're hanging out. They're doing, she's the opposite of me. But the funny thing here now is that who takes their sister-in-law to go get shots? Shouldn't that be, or at least who takes their girlfriend's sister to go to? It's like, shouldn't you be the big brother to your girlfriend's sister? So maybe that's where their behaviors clicked, and that's where they found solace in each other. So maybe this adult affair is probably not new. Probably they've had their similarities kind of just growing up, but because Chris was with Morgan, they didn't feel like maybe Jenny felt if she stepped in, it might look like she's stealing Chris from Morgan. So maybe they just kept it on the down low and had their fun, which eventually led to an affair. So to the question, yeah, sometimes the relationships that we have, we let go of the reins so much that when we finally try to pull back, we're not longer the ones holding the reins, or we've just handed it over to the next person. That's just it.
Yeah. I mean, what is alcohol? Is a byproduct of what? A lot of misunderstandings, a lot of enjoyment, a lot of bad decisions. And you say it's normal to just let your sister hang out with your significant other in the midst of alcohol.
See, don't put it like when you say it's normal, right? It depends. Like if we look at the context of the book, I'm going to look at the context of the book. It depends on the relationship you have with your sibling. It depends on the context we're talking about, right? You use the alcohol. Jenny and Morgan were very close. Morgan was like Jenny's sister, like mother. She brought Jenny up. They were so close. They dated best friends. They were in a relationship with best friends. So in a nutshell, they were always together. Morgan is a calm person. Jenny is vibrant. She's funny. She's cool. Morgan does not drink like that. Jenny loves to drink. Morgan's boyfriend loves to drink, loves to have fun. She does not, right? So she is feeling, being in the fact that maybe her mind was preoccupied with something else, but she is looking at it like it's normal. They're friends. And as far as she's concerned, as long as Chris does not come back and bother her, she can bother her sister as long as they want. And when they get drunk, they'll carry them home. Right. take away the burden. Like when in a social,
But it's true. Things like that, we see it all the time.
it happens
You're
all
like,
the time.
yeah,
Like,
you're
it
like,
takes-
my wife is a homebody. I'm an outgoing person.
you have things for
It
that.
can still be, yes, it doesn't necessarily
It doesn't
have to
necessarily
the
be there's
person.
anything of this. It took
But
me back
the
to real life, right?
person
There was
does
this
not
video.
go and interact with your significant other's siblings like that, though.
Listen, let me tell you something.
I don't know how to explain
This
it anymore.
book gives tips or chitty one that I tell people all the time. Is if you don't want to get caught, make the relationship as normal as possible. Where if they see both of you, nobody will ask like, hey, why is Barbara with Therese? No, it's already a normal thing. They already know that we are together. And they
There
say,
you go.
that's cheating 101. You will never get don't be going to unfamiliar places. Only there, but that's sneaky. It takes a lot of energy and strength to conceal. But once there's that established relationship that these two people will be in the same room in many places, that's pretty much easy. Everything else is a cover-up. It's
I'm
not
like,
that hard.
in their
to be honest.
context. In their context, it's just because that friendship part just covered everything.
Yes, it's not. It
normal.
really is not that hard.
No, it depends on the relationship you have with that
Yeah.
group and the setting and the context. And for them, it just was a normal day to day for
It
them.
wasn't, yeah, like they went to the same high school. So it's
The same
normal
thing.
to see. So now, should they have had boundaries?
I'm gonna just
Yes, to
simply
make
said
it
this. That's on why people shit.
fun. Okay.
I wish there was this I can find that Instagram reel. The woman is Nigerian and her husband is so close to her younger sister. So close. And she posts it every time that the husband will come. You see the husband dancing with the younger sister. The husband takes the younger sister. They're cooking. The husband is so close. And I'm looking at it and it's actually, if I can find it, I'll send it to the group. But it's the same dynamic. That dynamic, that's why it keeps going back to that. I'm like, it's actually normal in some families, like in some people's relationship when
I'm
it's just
there that
platonic.
there. I'm there that there. It's a lie.
Okay.
There is no convincing you can do to me that day. That thing, no, something is not good. There is no convincing. Yes, let it be my own insecurities or naiveness or however you want to put it. You understand? But I see plenty things happen in this particular lifetime that I have been in that I cannot put certain things just past people. You never even know. Just because that they don't want their grandparents to give them wahala, they are in the back being poly. You never know. But hey, to each their own. But this particular situation, this particular very one like this, Morgan is a mumu, straight up. That's all I'm gonna say. She's a mumu to the first order.
Morgan was just distracted. That's what was happening. Her mind was preoccupied with Jonah. So there were a lot of things that even if she wanted to see, she wasn't going to see.
Not just that, her whole life, because she was actually, she had for many years up until that point, she has actually been feeling like she settled. Like she actually said that she didn't really love Chris.
Yeah.
She loved Jonah. But she married Chris because she got pregnant. And so they got married. So for 17, 18 years, she settled. So she really was not all there. She loved her husband, that he gave her a family and all, but she really was not all there in her defense.
Well, in her husband's defense, then you cannot blame him for doing what he did then. Because apparently he felt that the sister, the wife was not there. So what was the very next thing? But
then he should not have married her.
Well, guess what? She shouldn't have married him either. They both settled. They both, settled, and one person settled in the sense that, oh, I'm still loving somebody else. And one person settled. I said, you know what? I'm gonna take 2 for 1 price.
He did. He sure did.
Yeah. Buy one, get one free.
He sure did. He was like, I'm not about to settle with you.
He said, fun, no fun. We put it together. My guy. Anyways, Barbara, that question to you was, can you truly move on from betrayal with the person who betrayed you with? What? Anyways, yeah, take that question. If you understand what that means.
Let me make sure I understand the question or repeat it again. Can I move on with the person who betrayed me? With
Can
the
you
person?
truly move on from betrayal with the person who betrayed you with? So in this instance, we're talking about Morgan. Yeah, Jonah and Morgan. Yeah.
Can Morgan move on from the betrayal that Chris caused her and still be with Chris? Yes.
Mm-hmm. Now say Bill Jonah. Can Jonah? Okay, simple
In
as this.
other words,
Can
if you were
Jonah?
Morgan, would you end up with Jonah?
There you go.
See now.
Huh?
Okay, let's
Why
Let
not?
me
I need to hear
So
this.
if I was Morgan, will I end up with Jonah, right? Because
Yeah.
I'm putting it in my head when I say no, let me take you back. I said that too quickly.
Yes.
I might end up with Jonah for two reasons. Because Jonah was a person I was always in love with anyway, and after everything I found out, this is like free leeway without me feeling guilty. Let me just do what I want to do because the motherfuckers did that. So it cleared the path for me. You know, that's a mindset, but that's just the shameless part of me coming out. Like I don't have anything to be ashamed of. You get, but in other sense, if Chris and Jenny were alive, so Chris betrayed Morgan, and Jonah is Morgan's best friend. I'm ready to say if both of them were alive, right, and the relationship between Morgan and Jenny were the same, like they were sisters, and Jenny, of course, was Jonah's fiance, but I probably would not be with Jonah if that's the case. But in the story, the way the story plays out, yes, because that's just my selfish part coming out. I don't have to feel guilty about anything else. And they did what they did, so we squared up now. We squared up.
Okay. And then Josie, what makes forgiveness earned or rushed?
What makes forgiveness earned versus rushed? I think it's one, the time, right? One, the time it takes to heal. Okay. The magnitude, yes, the magnitude of the offense. Some offense you can say, oh, I forgive you, but it will hit you in rushes, in waves, continuously for a very, very long time. It will make you paranoid. It will make you very self-doubting. It will make you doubt your trust of people, your characterization of people. So it depends on what the offense was, what the magnitude of the offense was. If somebody comes to your house and steals, okay, if someone comes to your house and steals your, let me see, your plate, your bowl, or something from your house, right? Or okay, yeah, or steals a pair of shoes, right? Okay, and then one day you find them wearing it, and there's that whole thing. So now you have that trust issue of everybody that comes to my house, my doors are locked. Versus if someone comes to your house and then you bring them in and you find out that they are cheating with your wife or your husband, and then you get comfortable with this person, and then one day you run into them somewhere or something happens. That's different from where you catch somebody wearing your shoes versus where you catch somebody sleeping with your husband or your wife. That's just, those things are personal things, but they are personal in different levels. So would you forgive the shoe thief? Obviously, but like, yeah, whatever. Or you know what? I need those pair of shoes, should just bring them back. But are you gonna forgive the cheating husband or the cheating wife? They're gonna come back to you. You might forgive them, but did you forgive them? You got your husband back, you got your wife back, but did it change anything for you? So forgiveness earned versus forgiveness rushed, it depends on what is the magnitude of the offense. There are some wives who say, it is okay. I forgive you. We're in this forever. But then they never have sexual contact with each other because that connection has been broken. Or they say, okay, I forgive you. We're not going to divorce, but we're going to be sleeping in separate rooms. We're going to be like roommates in this house because that's just the only way this can happen. So, yeah, I think it all depends on what's the magnitude of the offense.
Mhm.
So can we
For
say,
that, for
can
that,
forgiveness ever be rushed though?
No,
yeah, it can be.
what?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I feel like if it's rushed, you probably just
You did
maybe
not
you
forgive.
think you have, maybe you
Okay.
I think you
forced.
denying to yourself that you have. But like Josie said, I think time is the major key factor here.
And nobody should tell you how or when to forgive. At the end of the day, it's you that will come to the forgiveness because someone can come up to you and say, "Forgive that shoe thief. What is it?" But you know what you went through to save money to buy that shoe. Your sentiments tied to that shoe. So, or then the husband, you promised each other heaven and earth. And then, so no one gets to tell you how to grieve. And
What if the shoe was gifted to you and the person who gifted it to you is telling you let it go?
It doesn't see, I'll tell you something that I learned. Sometimes the thing that affects you is not more so the event itself. It's more so what that event does to you.
yes.
So it doesn't
Of
matter
course.
if the person who does to me comes. I'll give you an example. It's unrelated to cheating, but one morning I woke up, I was trying to go to my car. I found out that my car was broken into, vandalized,
Okay.
shattered windshield and everything. Like, the car so much did not bother me, but I felt violated in a way that I never imagined that seeing my car in that state would do that to me. I always think, oh, I'll look at my car, be like, dang, I have to go fix this car. I have to file an insurance claim. To my surprise, none of that bothered me. But I felt so violated in my personal space. It was so unreal. Then it clicked in my head. It's like, oh, sometimes the event that happens and somebody will look at you, is it not just a shoe? It's more than that shoe, though. You've come and you've taken that person's peace. That person doesn't feel safe in their space. There's a whole lot of things attached to that. So when someone comes to you and is like, oh, you're still mad about that thing, forgive me. Oh, forgive me. Have I not apologized 1,000 times? It will take me as long as it will take me. And I am sorry that it delays your process. But you are the offender. And I get to take as much time as I need to recover from the effect of the things, the impact of what you did to me has caused me. So if you truly do not want forgiveness from a person, don't ask for it. Because once you ask, that person is entitled to take as long as they want to give you that forgiveness. If you don't want that, don't ask for forgiveness.
I agree with you. 100%. That's why sometimes too, when you guys ask a man, who been cheated on a woman men do it all the time, but why would women do it? It's not seen the same. As a man, you gotta remember that she might have pushed the other nigga's dick back in. How you push it back in? Yeah, that's a big betrayal right there. So no forgiveness there, no. Yeah. So that's my own example. But anyways, let's move on. Let's go to the letter, and then we'll talk about Miller Adams. Yes. The letter. Would you have read them, right? So Morgan received letters from Chris and Jenny, but chooses not to read them. And how did she receive them? I think they opened the toolbox that Chris got, right? He used to lock it, so they opened it, and Jonah found letters in it that Jenny used to send to Chris, right? So she destroys them instead, deciding to move forward without knowing the juice. See? Mumu? Anyways, here's my question to you guys. Is this wisdom or avoidance? Barbara, take this one first.
Oh, she's better than me. It's avoidance. I would have read that shit. I would have sat down and taken my sweet time to read it. I will not bring them back from dead. And then I finish, I'll go back to your graves and curse you people out because you people can hear me. Idiots. All of you people. I was so annoyed. That particular part of the book annoyed me. I'm like, why on earth did you throw the letters and you were hiding it? No, I want to know what the two of you were saying. When did this nonsense start? How far did you people go? I want to know every detail. If you ask, what am I going to do with knowledge? Nothing. I just want to know. It will give me peace of mind. It will give me. She was avoiding it. She just did not want to deal with the emotions that came with it. And she said the nonsense. Oh, she's with Jonah now. And bitch. Sorry. What? No, I want to know.
I'm glad you said all of that, right? So being that you said all of that, then is that not the same example that you could have used from the start of the book to open your mind to see that, X, Y, and Z was supposedly happening? Like, why does it take till the letters now? You want to use so bad.
No.
Why can't you just use the same, thing? I say, okay, you know what? It is what it is. I just throw them away.
No, sir. The relationship, that friendship, again, from teenager to adult, they did not give that woman any reason to think otherwise. That's the thing. Her mind was already preoccupied with other things. They did not give her any reason. So I understand when she did not even, it did not click in her head when her sister was buying her husband gifts, or when her
pause
sister
right there. Pause right there. Hold on, pause right there. You are saying, how do they say it? Like when you put two of the same words is tautology, but when you make the same reasoning, how is what does it say? I mean, what how can you say that? How can you say that they never gave her a reason to, and then in the same sentence, wait, what is that you even said again?
They did not give her a reason to think otherwise.
They gave her all the reason to think otherwise, and then she was distracted. Now it's her fault because she was distracted. It's not that she did.
We're not faulting the fact that she was,
but she was distracted. They gave her enough reasons to see. They gave her enough reasons to see. Like, for example, again, I'm saying that when two people, they leave to go take shots, for example, they leave to go take a walk, they leave to go, you have to be able to look at body language. You have to be able to look at coincidences. Like, why do they keep doing this? Like, how often do they do it? And you have to be able to reason the thing out. Now you are distracted by another guy. Don't say that you did not know. You were distracted by some other guy. It's her fault.
Okay.
You're pushing it.
I'm not pushing nothing. She was distracted by another guy.
Shaming is interesting.
Yeah,
she was distracted by another guy.
She was.
She had another guy in mind.
She was. Here's the thing. She was just like every other person in a relationship. Somebody else will come and distract you. But she was committed.
She was committed.
She cut off ties with Jonah to stay focused on her marriage and her family. Now, whether or not she settled, whether or not she did not love the man, whether she was outgoing, all of that is irrelevant. It comes down to one thing. The only reason why people cheat: lack of discipline. That's it. I don't care what other factors are present. He did not have to start sleeping with Jenny. He decided to. That's the problem. So now telling her whether she saw it in hindsight or whether she did not pay enough attention, all of that is irrelevant. If her husband had just decided not to sleep with his wife's sister, this book would not have been written. It's just that simple.
See, she could have slept with Jonah, right? But she also decided not to. Let's just put that out there. She made it.
I agree with both of you, but at the same time, all I'm saying is this: things happen in life, and you cannot walk around like you are Stevie Wonder. You understand when you have two eyes to see. Don't come and tell me that, oh, I'm going to leave my responsibility on somebody else to act a certain way and not do my own due diligence and shit like that. Don't give me none of that stuff. Yes, I agree. As much as I agree with what you are saying, she also still has a responsibility to herself to make sure that all of those other things are, present in her world. She's doing her due diligence to make sure that things are right with her and husband, make sure that, things are not going. First of all, who the hell has two separate toolboxes in their house?
A lot of men do.
A lot of people do.
Well, I don't know.
I have two.
I don't know.
Two, and I'm not a man.
I have three toolboxes, but I'm not separating them from saying, oh, this is the man's toolbox, this is the woman's toolbox. It's just a toolbox.
Okay.
A toolbox is a toolbox. You know what I mean? So if somebody comes and buys you a thing and say, okay, no, this is your own, because I will end up. Do they make female and male hammers different?
One is pink. No, they don't.
Anyways, let's just move on small. Apparently, I'm just picking on this woman for no reason. My brain just told me. So let me just move on.
There's one thing I don't understand, right? Because Morgan brought Jenny up from her childhood. Like, they just had a relationship. But when I keep saying that, she did not see any reason. Like, who would think that sister would be sleeping with their husband? Right off the bat. She brought this child up, paid for nursing school, sent her to nursing school, sent her through college. Morgan stayed home from college, sent both of them to college. Now, she brought it up. Who in the right mind will see it and think that that kind of parent that sister will be doing that?
You're right. That's a level of betrayal that
it's a different
nobody sees coming.
Yes.
As much as the signs might be there, sometimes it's just a level. I'm sure sometimes you look at you be like, this is fun, but like, nah. This person cannot do me like that.
So let me ask about this question. Hold on, let me ask about this question. Let's say, for example, your sister is married. Would you go and be doing? Would you let your sister's husband, or would you go and interact with your sister's husband the way Chris is interacting with Jenny?
Was I friends with my sister's husband when they got married?
That's up to you. That's up to you to tell us right now. Would you, or what? Okay, since you're putting it that way, what circumstances will make you not interact with your sister's husband in that way?
I generally, one of my sisters were friends, I draw a boundary when they get married, regardless. But if they were friends, right, with the context of this book, they were best friends from childhood. They have been around each other. They had that rapport established already. You understand? So them interacting like that was not out of the norm. Imagine that now I don't have that norm with my sister's husband. All of a sudden, we're doing shots, we're dancing, we're going shopping. You're telling me, okay, are you mad? Where did this one start? That will raise the red flag in my head because it was not before. You understand? Yeah, I see people can do a relationship, but that's a little bit much. So it depends on the circumstance. It depends on the context that we're talking about. I keep saying that it depends on whatever that scenario is.
No problem. It also depends on how you want to put it, right? I'm asking you a direct question. You can insinuate whether you will be a best friend with your sister's husband or not. So again, I want to hear from your mouth, the horses, your mouth, right? What would you do? Let's say, for example,
can I? Okay.
Hold on. Let me ask you this way.
Okay.
Let's say, because you guys are so fixated that they were best friends, right? So let me start it off like this. All of you are best friends with your siblings, husbands or boyfriends, which I don't even know why in the first place that's even so. But let's just say you guys are best friends.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you are saying that in this particular situation, being that you guys are best friends, you see that the activities that you are doing, it's normal. Your sibling's boyfriend or your boyfriend.
What activities are we talking about?
Drinking. What activities were they doing in the book? Drinking, getting drunk, things like that. Like those are activities that are acceptable?
I think so.
Because
hold on. Let me finish.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going by the book, right? The
Yeah.
activities, that's excluding the affair. It's not like they ran off somewhere where I'm sitting and went and was drinking somewhere. We are all in the same event. They are just at the bar taking shots together. We are in the same event with everybody. People are dancing. They are dancing on the. I'm sitting here. I'm looking at them dance. Do you understand? I don't. If they are within eyes view.
What book did we read here that?
If
What
she's
book
not
do we hear?
grinding on him, I'm not gonna go grind on my sister's husband. But if we are dancing just on a regular, how many times have you danced with a random auntie or sister or somebody at an event? How many times have you guys sat with people?
We are face to face. We are face to face about three, feet. Where you measure feet apart. It's not like we are holding or anything like that.
Okay, so, but were they holding? Were they collesere?
Okay,
no,
so
right?
I have an example. Sorry to interrupt. Okay, and there are two sisters in our church, right? One of them is dating someone else, and this is gossip, but one of them is dating somebody else. Yeah, But then these are two sisters, so they're all part of the youth group. Okay, so now they all go to the same college. The two sisters are friends with this guy and other guys, but this guy is dating the one sister. But they're all together. So if at the end of the day he marries her, he's always known her younger sister.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? He's always known the younger sister. So if he has a best friend who now gets with the younger sister and they're all in the same group, then you notice that they are now a foursome, if there's anything like that. So they become a team and they go sorry, forget, take your mind out of the gutter. Let us stay focused. Okay. Yeah, but anyway, so that's exactly what this book is telling us. They've all been friends, they've all been a team. And now at some point the team breaks up because one person in there feels like if they hang around, they might become the Achilles heel for someone else. So he steps out. But then unfortunately, him stepping out actually takes away Jenny's distraction. I think that's
Jenny's
what it was.
Story, yeah.
Yes, cover story. Because if Jonah had been still in the team, I don't think she would have had so much time to be with Chris. And who knows, she would have eventually gotten pregnant by Jonah, or maybe she and Jonah would have broken up and the story would have had a whole different tale. But Jonah left, and so she was left with this other person who is a mutual friend, but now her sister's husband, who happens to be Chris.
Quick is not binding. Explain it however you want.
See, man.
It's like, no, cannot go.
This is the thing, right?
Anyway,
this is the thing,
true.
right?
Discipline.
No, this is the thing, right? This is the thing, right? I'm sorry to say this, but I'm gonna say this. Most women want to take a beat up 504 and make it look like a brand new 504. There's no way. It doesn't matter how you paint that picture. It doesn't matter how you spray that car. It's still an old beat up 504. But I'll let you sit with that ideology that that's possible. And then you get to a point where it's not possible. Then it's real life that has to smack you. But I wish that you don't get to that point to open your mind, right? You not walk around like Stevie Wonder. I just wish. But most women fell prey in that and walk around and say, oh, yeah, and then come and sit and then, oh, I wish, nigga, like you had enough time to be reject, wish, like you had enough time. Right now, just count, how is it? Just accept it and then keep it moving, because the time to wish it had passed a long time ago. But again, like I would say, listeners and watchers, please, what do you guys think? Let us know what you think to this situation. Because hey, maybe Jonah leaving too was because he's seen that nonsense and he was like, man, I cannot deal with this shit. But another question for you guys here. T, yes, this one is good for you. Do you have a right to closure if you don't seek the truth?
I wouldn't say the right to it. I just don't think you can have closure otherwise. The only thing that brings closure is the truth.
Do you think it's always necessary to get closure?
Yes. You may not get it from the person you want it, that you think is going to give it to you. You may not get it when you want it the most. But the way we are designed as humans, closure is essential. Because there's that hole and that void that it leaves in you. Nothing else will fill you except the truth of that thing. Now you can move on. You can definitely move on and carry on with your life. But the day that closure will hit you, you will realize how much of a burden you had on your shoulders. I wish everybody can have closure, but
so wait, Barbara, do you agree?
That you need truth to get closure? Yes.
Okay.
And
So is it always necessary from the person that, like, in this situation, like, is it always
No.
necessary from?
no.
You personally need some form of closure. Be it whether you just accept whatever the situation is and move from it, that's a closure in a sense. You don't need the other person to get the closure from, because 9 out of 10 times human beings are special. You see that person, they probably will not give it to you. Because they don't want to either deal with whatever the situation is, or some people are just straight up crazy and mean. Right? They won't give it to you. So rather than you being stuck, you need to find your own closure personally. Whether you accept the situation or you just say F it, it is what it is. And the goal of closure to me is you move on. You're literally living for whatever where you're standing to another place. And the only way for you to do is to accept whatever that situation is, the truth about it, and whether the other persons accept that they did whatever they did, explain whatever they did, whatever the situation is, you, the person looking for the closure, you have to find your own personal closure in the form and get it out of there quickly. At that.
Some closures do require an external stimulus. Others don't necessarily have it. So it just depends on the situation.
Okay. All right. Thank you. For indulging in my little, Josie, Miller Adams. I don't know if you're excited about that character, but let's talk about him a little bit. You know, is it a dreamy guy or is it a red flag guy? You know, like to you. But Clara is forbidden from seeing Miller, which makes her want him more and more, right? So, is Miller a good guy for Clara, or is Clara just rebelling? And how do you know? And how, two-part question, and how do you know if a teenager's first love is real or rebellion? Rebellion.
Okay. I would say it's real, right? One, because the feeling was mutual. Okay. But also too, though, she's been trying to get this guy's attention. If something is rebellious or superficial, you won't go looking for the attention. Even though some people like bad boys, but hers was noted observation. She followed him, she tracked him, she was following his movements, and she even noticed that he paid somebody to exchange lockers with her. Means, this is someone that she's had eyes on, she's admired, she's always wanted a relationship with, but he never had, or what she thought, he never had the time of day for her. Right? She always believed that he never liked her, didn't think she was someone that he would even talk to, and hated her. That's her word, that he hated her. So in terms of rebellious versus real love, I think somewhere in their relationship, she used their relationship as a rebellion against her mother. But unfortunately, right, she was self-destructively rebellious. If yes, yeah, there is a way you can rebel against someone. So after the self-destruction, she now had this outward rebellious activity where she was going to go see him, where she took her keys and she was going to go to the movie to see him whether the mother wanted or not. But before that, yeah. So the answer to your question, rebellion or self-love, I think, or first love, I think the first love came first before the rebellion. Yeah.
Okay. Teres,
And
do you
and hold on, I think you also had a question. Is Miller Adams a bad boy, right?
is he good for Clara, or is Clara just rebelling?
I think he's good for Clara. Okay, he's good for her because he's calm-headed, he's level-headed, he's working back from a reputation in terms of where his father has been. And so he's trying his best not to be like that.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me ask you guys this question, right? And anybody can take it. Um, so when she called him to come have sex with her, which was taking advantage of him, how did you guys feel about that scene?
I mean, typical teenage life.
Nonsense.
As much as level-headed as he was,
Mm-hmm.
as mature for his age as he was still a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
Teenagers gone teenage. Or whatever they
That's
say.
right.
Because if he was someone who was mature enough, he would have said, okay, this is her grief. And he knew that she was using him as a form of rebellion to her mom. But if he was mature enough, he would have put a pause to that. But he was just a teenager like her.
Yeah, I was like, he's a teenager. What I was reading in my head, I was like, they are gonna do some stupid teenage shit right now. They will do it. And besides, let's look at it. Miller Adams has had a thing for Clara for a long time.
Yes.
That's a
Yes.
girl he's wanted to have for a long time. When he saw his window, my guy was like, "Yep, I'm gonna take it regardless." But in the you need to give him some credit because in the midst of that, when he realized that, he was so mad at her because he said that was a special. That was very cute. He said that was something special, and she ruined it, and she used him to do that. So I'm like, okay, he has sense. I mean, his teenage hormones did not make him to have that sense, but he has some small sense that I'm gonna give him that.
Right. I was actually proud of that moment.
Yes.
That
Yes.
she literally set him up.
Yes.
And he
Yes.
did not find that
It's
funny.
like, Dad, this is not funny. Don't do that. This was supposed to be our thing, something special, and you ruined it. It's like, my guy. And side note, he's not. Mila Adam is a nerd. He's not a bad boy. I don't know where
No,
that-
he's a bad boy.
He's a nerd.
He's a bad boy. He has the bad boy aesthetic.
Tendencies, but he's
Let me put it that way. He has the bad boy aesthetics.
yes,
But he really was a good kid.
yeah.
So at adulthood, right? Say for example, a man have sex with a grieving woman, what would you say? That he's childish, for example, or like what would you term that situation?
I mean, he's just getting his nut off. That's pretty much that's it. Because I feel like having sex for anything other than pleasure, I think it ruins the whole experience for me. Now, would you have an orgasm? Sure. But I don't know. In my opinion, I don't want to have any kind of sex with some kind of string attached. I don't want pity sex. I don't want, I'm grieving sex. I'm not all day. You're not all day. Now, make me feel good in the moment, but I'm not all day. I would like to not have that.
One of my friends told me that he loves to have sex with grieving women because it's like the best he's ever had. I don't know that
And
that
it's
was a little bit
true
confusing, but
because
I don't
I'm
know how
guessing
factual that is.
it's they're already very emotional at that point, right? A grieving person is emotional, and all they are focusing to do at that moment is forget their pain. So they will channel everything into that moment. But then after that, what? She go back to being sad. How many times a day are you gonna keep having an orgasm? You know, it gets old at some point. But that's my whole point. Now it will make you feel good for that, however long it lasts. But after that, then what?
I mean, in the book, right? Clara did it because she was trying to piss her mother off. That was the
And she
whole.
did have an orgasm. Let's put that out there, because you say things like that sometimes it'll be like, oh, the sex is gonna be bad. No, it's not gonna be bad. She did have an orgasm. Continue.
But she
With a
wanted to
little
have,
pain.
Right.
yeah, she wanted to have sex to piss her mother off. And so, if anything, yeah, she did take advantage of my dear Mila Adams was one of my favorite characters in the book. But in this sense, if I'm like, can we compare Clara Adams and Clara and Mila Adams to an adult? Because people as adults, people just they're very conscious of the consequences of what their actions, and they'll just have sex for whatever reason, whatever the reasons is, with no string attached to go about that way. So I'm like, I don't know if that's a good comparison
You
between
have them compare them teenage sex
them,
and adult
like
sex.
adulthood. So I'm like,
I don't think it's any different if you ask me. Sometimes adults just be fucking for fucking sake.
but in this sense,
Just
with
like
these people,
teenagers.
like with Clara and what's her
Mila.
name? Like, were they really fucking for fucking sake?
No,
No,
I'm
I
just
think
saying that
yeah.
the
Yeah,
adults have
it's
sex for
different. Like
so
Mila was
many
like,
reasons.
remember, it was
And there
her
are also
birthday.
adults who go and have sex with people as a revenge, as a rebellion, or to prove a point.
Oh, very true.
Adults
Very
have
true.
that all the so I only think the difference here lies in the level of responsibility.
Which, yes,
Yeah.
which Mila
Which
had.
adults supposed to carry
Yeah.
being sexually active, which teenagers sometimes do not.
Yeah,
Well, not
but
sometimes they don't, because
yeah,
they are
but then
not
though
as mature.
I would say he obliged her and he agreed to it, kind of because he likes her and he just wanted to help her feel good, feel better. Kind of, it's
Wanted
just
to give her
I'm
something that she wanted.
yeah, something that
Yes,
she wanted,
he did.
yeah, he just it's like, oh, I like you, you want this, okay. I
Because
don't really
he
think
did ask multiple times.
yes,
At
I don't think you
every
should be
step
doing this.
of the way he was
Yeah,
asking, can
yeah.
I kiss you? I was like, okay, gentleman, like
Mila is perfect for Clara. He was.
Yeah. He's a good guy.
Yeah. Okay, Ake, what are your thoughts?
he's like, I will shoot that boy in the
Right.
chimney.
Nah, I mean, nah. The problem's not the boy. The problem's the girl, man.
Yeah.
The problem's not the boy. The problem's the girl.
Yeah.
Some people want to chalk it up to teenage hormones or whatever, which it might be. But again, she needed some spanking. Some lashes. The mom was taking it too easy on her. Like she needed some lashes. Like you bringing a boy into the house, yeah. You crossed the line, fam. I'm about to give you some few lashes, but hey, the guy's great. The girl, very
Not
annoying. Very, very annoying. Looks like
yeah.
every line that she popped up in the book was just pissing me off. Like, yeah. But hey, it is what it is, right? So, all right, regretting you. The title isn't random. Every
Yeah.
character regrets something, right? Morgan regrets marrying young, regrets keeping the secret, regrets not living her life. Clara regrets texting Jenny, regrets how she treated her mother. Chris regrets the affair, did he? Though he's dead. Jonah regrets not pursuing Morgan years ago. So the question here is regret proof that we're human? Can we live without it?
Can we leave without regret?
Mm-hmm.
No, we can't. Can we leave without regret?
No, I think people just say that and they really like
Yeah,
live your life once, no regrets. I think we tell
YOLO.
ourselves, yes, I think we tell ourselves that to be okay with
yes,
outcome of our choices. But I do think that every human has some kind of regret.
I agree. Because that's how you learn too. That's how it's from regret from actions either taken or not taken. And so you learn what to do or what not to do or how to navigate the next chapter or the next relationship or whatever it is. So yes.
Okay. Um, Two women so similar, they clash instead of connecting. Both want independence, but in different ways. Both afraid of repeating family patterns, but but by the end, they learn to see each other as people, not just roles. So, Barbara, you can start, and then if anybody wants to chime in, sure. When do you stop seeing your parents as mom and dad and start seeing them as complex human beings? Or is there ever a moment as such?
Yeah. Yes.
So when? Has it
Let's
hit
see.
for you yet? Or
Oh, it did hit for me just personally in my family when it's more like his it concerns my dad, you're my father, and you're also a complex human being who's married to somebody. So I'm just gonna see that as that. That's the only way you and I can coexist, and that's the only way I can form a relationship with you. It gets to a certain point. It depends on your dynamic where you have to, as an adult, you have to remove yourself from that part. I said, okay, I'm just gonna see you as a man who has that, it's gonna help me understand you in certain things. It's gonna help me understand some of your decisions. It's gonna help me respect some of it. It's more like you have to do that to build certain boundaries. My mother on the other side, I'm still working on that part. I'm still working on it. I'm getting there, but I think as an adult, you have to do it because it's gonna,
okay.
for me personally, it's gonna help you navigate a lot of things.
Mm-hmm. For me, I think it starts when you start seeing their flaws.
Hmm.
The first time you realize that, not that the whole, oh, go and wear your shoes and come, let's go, and you come, you realize, mommy lied to me. No, the first time you actually find out that your mom lies, you're like, whoa, hold up. The first time you actually see a human flaw in them, that changes everything. You stop idolizing them and start looking at them as humans also navigating this world. Like, they're not invincible. As much as I would like to put them on a pedestal, they're humans.
I think when you start seeing or understanding why they made the decisions they made and why they are where they are, and it just helps you say, okay, hey, I understand you. I might not
Having a
agree with you.
similar
I might not
experience.
agree with the path you took, but if that's your reason for doing that, I see why you did that. I and I sympathize with you. I think that's what it is I empathize with your reasoning for the choices you made or the choices that you're making. Yes.
I've had situations where I think if I did not remove myself because in my head, like, I'm like, you are my parent. I am supposed to be your priority. I am supposed, why is it that hard? Like, why can't you see? Like, I was that frustrated. And then it was actually an older cousin from mine told me that I should pause and say, look at him. He's a man who is married. look at him from that lens, then you understand the decisions, you understand what he's saying. So I had to take myself out of that fact that, okay, let me not look at him as my parent. He's my father, but let me not look at him as a parent. Let me look at him as this. Then I said, okay, you know, I can understand where it is. I don't accept it. I don't agree, but I can understand and I can respect his decisions and also and don't be so hostile. So it just you said when you start seeing the flaws, I started seeing the flaws in a lot of the things.
Just out of curiosity for
Yeah,
Clara.
me too. Out of the same curiosity too. Before we switch again, real quick, just right here.
No, it was in that same question, but go ahead. I'll wait.
It was in that same question too. But just real quick. When did this curiosity hit for you guys? At what age? Sorry, if you guys would like to reveal.
My question. That was what I was about to ask.
See why? See why?
For Clara, it did hit pretty early.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that's something that I can relate. I found out way too early.
I came out of mother's womb. I had the information in my hand.
Yes.
Oh wow.
I found out way too early, and I did not know what to do with that information. But for you guys, when did that happen? Hopefully, you are adults.
No, I came out of mother's womb with it, man. Like, yeah.
We say found out. What do we what context in Clara?
No, find out that your parents are just humans.
Oh yeah, I started figuring that out when I was a kid or high school, just because of my family dynamic, and then it actually dawned on me because I kept making excuses and building the princess castle in my head. I'm not gonna lie to you, it dawned on me in my adult years.
What?
Yes.
You ever go carry water?
See, that's that thing where your brain does this thing where it builds a different kind of perception for you just to protect you.
Yes, I had a different perception because in my head, I'm like, my mother's side, I was always protected from a lot of things. There were a lot of things that I don't know because my mom has a way of doing her things. But when I came to the US, it led a lot of things started making sense. I started putting two and two together. And the only way for me to, as I said, to navigate my relationship I had to do that. I was like, God damn.
So let me ask this question then.
Mm-hmm.
Do women grow up and then pause? You know, as they say, women mature fast from kid, as you know, like compared to boys. Do they get to a certain place and their brain pauses and then resumes at another time?
No,
that's not been true in my case. My brain has been going.
Mine has been.
Still going. So that's not something that I can.
It doesn't pause. If you start maturing, you start putting two and two together. Because I've been fixing shit for things since I was a kid.
Because clearly, okay, go. Here's my question.
Oh, yeah, set a trap for us. Continue.
Here's my question. If, for example, you were not born with a golden spoon in your mouth, that means they didn't give you everything you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
2, someone like me, I had to go 30 minutes to go and carry water and walk back. That's an hour to just fetch water. There's no way I can see my parents as not humans, bruh. You know what I mean? Like, and then, yeah, like when I look at other things and I look at what's going on, my brain had already like started saying, yo, like what's going on here? Why don't I have that? Why don't I have this and third, you know, like all the way from young. So I guess my question is, were you guys blind to these things or were you guys born with golden spoons in your mouths?
I think based off of what you said, right? And you've not given much detail, but I'm making an assumption here. I think that what you're saying is something that we all have been, right? That you're not just looking at your father, you know, that thing you think your dad is Santa Claus.
Yeah.
That's the case.
No.
We knew our parents were human. We knew, you know, we all had to go carry water to. You just chalk it up to, okay, these are the normal occurrences in our neighborhood or of our family, of our life, right? But still you hold your parents in that sacred position, in that sacred role. That's what this question is about.
Sacred role.
Where hold on, let me come. Where you sit and then the one day you're like, oh, I want, for some people, oh, I want a man. Oh, my daddy loves us. My daddy cares. You come and find out your dad has kids outside of your mom. Now that's where that whole complex human starts clicking in, where you start seeing other than normal things, other than the things that you've imagined what a family is supposed to be. You're like, damn, my daddy cheated. That shakes you. Things like that. Or the day you find out your dad beats your mom, or you find your mom, or the day you find out your mom is manipulative. You know, things like that. That is the question. It's not so much as to say, oh, you think your parents are this mythological figure somewhere.
Yeah. Well, that was still a long time ago, from birth. Like, for me, I see it as, they say that the apple does not fall too far from the tree, right? So if my grandpa, for example, was this, my great grandpa was this, and my dad's brother said, Dad, my father would go to him and be like, yo, my guy, what was stopping you from not doing this? Or are you just hiding? You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to go ask a question because my brain is already put into a tool. I said, there's something not normal here. Now you can be the anomaly.
Right.
Maybe you could be the game changer. But it would, to me, the way I look at it, the math will not add up, right? Because I'll go, so you try to tell me, you grew up among all these guys and you just decided to be the different one. Like, why? How? You know what I mean? So I'll start asking those questions, and maybe they might show them for me, maybe not. But it's not the fact that, they have uncles and siblings and all whatnot, that I would do everything in my power to be cool with them and be asking them, hey, man, how was your brother like this? But for me, it was more from a very young age, just because of how inquisitive I always was, or how much I opened my eyes to like see things.
So, okay. I think I'm trying to understand the part, because I'm like, if we're talking about like growing up, you're looking at the differences, right? When you see your parents, there's certain things that were norm. Like my mom used to sell food, right? And you, as you say, you fetch stream. Yes, I was required to fill a bucket of water from a stream at 5 a.m. in the mornings, where I had to cook and go sell the food. And I went to Imboya. I went to a government school. You understand? My mom's sister, on the other hand, our older sister, worked as a teacher, government. Her kids has never done that a day in their life. So to me, where we came from, that was a norm for me. That was normal for me to go fetch water in the morning. That was normal to my mother woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning and cook and carry food and everything else. But so I'm like, in that sense, she was still my mother though. You understand? I never had to separate that. She was still my mom.
It was just a normal occurrence.
It was a normal thing to me.
It did not click.
No. I'm like, it's just never. But when
You didn't have neighbors that had running water, for example?
Yeah, but that does not, you're missing the point, I think. That does not make you not see your parents as humans.
I mean, for me, it kind of does, because it's like, for me, even myself, right? Even myself, and maybe it's me having a comparative mindset, I guess, if that's a word. That's what I'm looking for, comparative mindset. But I'm looking like, so what was stopping you from attending that?
I mean, I think as kids, we all wished our mother was the one driving the car. We all wished I think we all wish that those are the norms.
Yeah.
But we're talking about in deeper terms of things.
Yeah.
Where you look at your parent and you look at this woman and say, wow, this woman is layered. Wow, this man is layered. And, those are the kind of things. And now, while that might occur young for some people, it doesn't occur till much later in life for others.
Yeah. Has anybody watched the movie yet? Regretting You, the movie?
No.
Anybody?
No, I haven't seen it. Yeah.
All right, so I guess okay, I'll skip that question. But
I saw the trailer though.
Saw the trailer? Yeah. The movie is a little bit cheesy. But yeah. Anyways, are you guys Team Morgan or Team Clara?
Morgan.
Oh no, I'm Morgan.
I think I'm going to be Team Morgan.
I don't have Tim in that. I don't have one in that.
You
That's
gave
it.
the question.
You have to
Answer.
have
Pick
one. Which one?
Clara.
Clara.
Morgan is a mud.
I knew you would pick Clara.
Yeah,
Next
even
one.
as much as I know it, but yeah. All right. Would you rather lose someone suddenly or lose them slowly to betrayal? Me suddenly.
Suddenly, better car kill them than betrayal.
Yes. Suddenly, because then it's a sharp thing, you deal with the cut and you move on, and you start healing right away, compared to the slow burn. It's similar to when you fry turkey. Sorry, I'm being foodie here. Is where you fry turkey versus you slowly roast the turkey.
I think it was very good for you, eh?
She's basking in her hosting glory.
Yes, she is.
Okay, no, but anyway, I think it's just better for the betrayal to be instant, so you can start the healing process.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay. If you could give one piece of advice to Morgan, what would it be?
Hold on, is it before Chris died or after Chris died?
Yeah.
Pick one, or we could give it in general. My own general is this. I know I didn't see you wearing glasses, or I assume you don't have glasses, but you don't have 20/20 vision. You need glasses. That's my own advice.
Wow.
I think mine will be she should have told Clara about her father and aunt sooner. As much as I've said earlier that sometimes teenagers should not bear that burden, but in this instant, she should have told her sooner.
She should have read those damn letters.
I was waiting for the tea from those letters. I did not get it. I was mad.
You guys just wanted the book to be 11 hours. That's what it is.
Yeah, but then though, the twist. What if in those letters had been a whole different plot?
Girl, okay, I want to know when they started.
I would have
Think
read
about,
that too.
maybe it's like, oh, I'm sorry that happened, or that night was never meant to happen, so how are we going to tell Morgan? Or just that whole back and forth
But
banter.
no. That don't matter. It happened. I want to know when it happened. And then see, spirits be and now I'll not bring them back here. I'll go and finish and I stand in front of people's graves and curse you people out too. I had a whole plan for her. The fact that she did not read that letter, she destroyed my plans. Okay. I'm like, Chris should not have died. I needed Chris to be alive so she can get her leak. But I had a list of things that I wanted her to do, but she should have read those letters. So
Okay, what's your advice? Oh, you said
yeah.
20/20 vision.
Yeah, 20/20. Yeah.
Okay, and my advice to her, I can't even think of what to tell Morgan. If she were sitting by me, what would I tell her? I would say, it's okay, better now than later. And I'll tell her, I say, you know what, life might not have dealt you a good hand in the beginning, but it's giving you an option to end with a better hand. Simple. That's it.
So,
okay.
if Morgan and Clara walked into the living room right now, or walk up to your desk right now,
Yeah.
what would you ask them? What's one thing you ask them? Tigo.
Why did you stay in that marriage so long?
Morgan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Clearly she was not happy. Why you staying?
Obligation. Okay.
I know. But still don't make sense.
Okay. Baba, what's your own?
Girl, was that sex good with Jonah the first time?
So on sex.
No.
That's a good question.
Did you sleep with him?
She wants to know all the sex scenes in this
Hold
book.
on.
She don't know why.
Yeah, they did after they finally told the girl and they came
Okay.
together.
Because it was
She
a long
was
time
like,
coming.
did I miss? No, that was after. Way.
No, it was
Okay.
after. It was a long
Okay.
time coming. This is something
Okay.
that we visualizing since teenagers. So
Okay.
forget all of that. Let's talk. That's all.
That's hilarious. Josie, what's the old?
If Clara and Morgan were to come up to me now, what
If
question I would say?
Morgan and Clara walked up to you right now, what would you ask them? But what are you thinking? For me, I'll ask Clara. I said, man, how can you do your sister like this? Like
Clara.
seriously, how can you do your sister like this?
No, Clara? No,
Jenny.
Clara or
not
Jenny?
Jenny.
Hold on.
Jenny did.
Oh, sorry. I'm confused by characters. Okay, sorry, Clara and Morgan. What would I ask them? Oh, for Clara, it's a very simple question. Must you really be this annoying? Like, must you really be this annoying? Yeah, that's my own answer to Clara.
Okay, I think my question to Clara was at the end of the day, was the rebellion worth it? Did you feel like you felt fulfilled at the end of the day? That's one. And then for Morgan, I think it's more like probably wanna lean on Barbara's question. Was it good?
It's a long time coming.
It's more like because then when you're with someone who you love, and she mentioned it, she said it was different the way Jonah looked at her versus the way Chris looked at her. When Jonah looked at her, she felt like she saw, like someone looked and saw her, versus Chris, who just looked at her and loved her. That's it.
Oh, that's very sweet. I have a question.
I will ask Jonah, why would you let your friend steal your girl?
I have questions for Jonah too.
Like, where was your liver?
Did he steal his girl though? Was it really a steal girl thing, or
He did not have liver. That's the point. He did not have
He
liver.
did, because Chris was just a player in school. Then he knew that Jonah fancied Morgan, but he went ahead and asked Morgan to the prom, and you know what they do at prom night? Slept together, and that's how she got pregnant. She liked Jonah more. She was accepting Chris, kind of like, okay, if I go to prom with the friend, then I can get the friends. Those they are like Oyibo teenage things. If I get the friend takes me out, okay, now I'm in the clique. I can be closer to the guy's friend type.
oh,
Then she went and got pregnant.
See, it's more the I think one of the, I want to say, the saddest part for me in this movie that I wanted to slap Jonah was when she dropped off the baby at the house and left for that long. I want to pick up the call and everything else. I want him to come and let me ask him a question. You did that and then you came back. You people did not do DNA test. So why did you do it? I want to know why. Because you say you're a father, right? And you stayed with your futures. Guy that you were grieving. I don't understand. Right? And then when the light bulb, it took a 17-year-old to make the light bulb click in your head, he came back.
yeah.
I just want to know his thought process, because I'm very curious as to what he was thinking, why he did that, and just because Morgan was going through the same pain he was. Morgan lost somebody, lost two people, was grieving as well, was trying to find her parents, and she had to take care of a child that she had no business. When those people were shacking up, she was not there. At least you shacked the girl up. You get it. So I want to talk to him about that.
Yeah, I think I just remembered one question.
So wait, hold on, Josie. Hold on, Josie. Hold on. What did she say? What do you say?
What do you? Why are you coming?
That he should keep the baby because he has love for
No, it's not that she should keep
Morgan,
the baby.
and she's grieving and she has this and that. So he should keep it because like he does not have the right to grieve too as well?
Okay, both of them.
See, you're mute.
He took his responsibility and came and added it on top of Morgan's. That's
First of all, you guys say his responsibility. Now, him looking at that kid and saying that kid has Chris's face, and they both can agree that that's Chris's kid at that particular moment. As far as I'm concerned, it's not his responsibility anymore. Now, if he says, I'm gonna assume all responsibility for this, knowing full with the information that he got, then that's that's on him. But him dropping off that kid, I don't see me no problem there.
Why is he dropping her at
the
woman's house? Because that child is as much betrayal to Jonah as it is to Morgan.
That's the point.
So why are you going to drop it at Morgan's house?
Guess what?
He had no business doing that.
Guess what? That child is Morgan's what? Niece?
Nephew. Yes.
Who is a half brother to her son. So believe it or not,
and cousin to her daughter.
Accept it or not, she has full custody over that kid more than Jonah.
See, that's the thing.
We're not
using that.
Is the right one, right?
The problem is he added on her burden.
He did.
Which again, to me, I don't see any problem with it. If it was twins, he could have dropped both twins to her.
No, I do. That part.
Because guess what? Him too was also saying that, say this thing to this girl so that we can have a moment to put this grief behind us and find ways to move on. But she wants to hold on to like
that was after.
Him is also going through his own thing.
That was after.
Part of him going through his thing is dropping her off so he can get some moment of clarity. It's a 17-year-old that came and slapped some sense into him. No problem. But please tell me when a 17-year-old cannot slap some sense into an adult. Tell me when it's a problem.
See, all of that, right? That was after that you told the 17 or whatever. No, that was after. But you cannot do that to somebody who is going through the exact same thing as you. That was irresponsible.
Let me tell you,
I would do it in a heartbeat.
This clearly tells us the difference in childcare between men and women. And I will say this forever. If you think that a woman, you, as much as you might have support, as much as that child care is 100% you. This just is a clear example because he really did not give a shit that woman was going through.
No, he did not.
That child left the child there and took off with no.
She did not have a job. She wasn't working. She was struggling. How was the kid feeding? How was the woman surviving? The woman was going through the exact same thing.
I understand what he did.
If
it was not even her husband, I can understand that, okay, let me give it to the sister. Let me take a break. But she's dealing with her own thing. She has a teenager out there driving her crazy. Her husband just cheated with her sister and they have a baby. Your only betrayal is that they get lied to you and give a baby. This woman has triple whammy. You carry the shank.
You carry the shank on my left and then you disappear and came back. Listen, that was the way one slappy. We have like
he's lucky that Morgan loved him.
No, all
of you the grace on her head. Yeah, you understand.
All
the grace on her head.
You want the grace?
Look, as far as I'm concerned, the sister lied to him about the pregnancy, tied it on him, and then he finds out. And then, look, to me, he has no strength.
Are you not the one who was singing all this while that he was on him? He did not do his due diligence.
Or what?
So
on
why
Jonah.
can you not see? So how is that Morgan's fault though?
How now is it Morgan's problem?
Morgan's problem.
Are you putting the one who is saying that that's Morgan's Jenny's Morgan's sister, that they were best of friends and all whatnot? So if him go and drop it off to the best of friends and the sister and all whatnot, what's the big deal?
You know what?
Give a shit what she's dealing with. Is she the first one to deal with such a thing?
Is she the first one to deal with it? She's not the first one to deal with such a thing.
So
is he the first one to do such a thing?
He did what he did. He went and dropped off the kid to that particular moment.
In the same breath, is he the first one to do such a thing?
No, he's not.
The last either.
No, he's not. And he went and got the kid back because, like you said, some 17 or what. Look, this particular story, if I was the writer, he would have never gone back for that kid.
So why are you leaving?
It is
Why
not
are
his
you
child.
avoiding the man's responsibility, right? He's
What man's
in this
responsibility?
situation,
Is it
and
his
it's the
child?
woman's fault.
If they take his blood and that kid's blood is
On the birth
is it the
certificate,
same blood?
legally, he wants to go legality. On the birth certificate, that child is that man, and he is entitled by law to pay
Well,
child
show
support.
me,
She's
show me the
18.
birth certificate from the book now. Show me the birth certificate
There's
from
no
the
birth
book.
certificate in the book.
Or you
I'm
tell me
listening.
that, or you also tell me that it was said in the book that, his name was written on the birth certificate.
It was not saying
Is that
the
you
book.
tell me to?
It was not saying the book that his name was.
All right, then why are you bringing it up then? All I'm saying
But
is
you're
that
saying that it
all I'm
was
saying
not
is
his
that
responsibility.
but it's not. It's not.
It's
You
his
guys are putting
responsibility.
something on him that is not.
It
It's
is
not his responsibility.
No, it is his
This is what
responsibility.
Kevin Samuel be saying all the time. You guys just want to come and pin something on somebody where it's nice. I don't care what she's going through. She's not the first person to go through it. No, she's not the last person to go through it. Go and drop off the relative's key to the relative and move on. Now, if you go back because you love the woman, my nigga, that's because you love the woman. And then you go back and do that. But let nobody go and say that it is solely his responsibility. No, the fuck
We
not.
never said it was solely his responsibility. We said, all I said was him dropping off that kid for a week, no contact. It was not appropriate. It was not.
I'm not denying. See, look, when it comes to the humanness, I don't give a shit what they are going through. He is going through his own thing, same as she's going through her own thing. But does not change the fact that that kid, under the law, if you take the blood, it's not his child. It's not his child.
But it's same birth certificate, I mean.
What birth certificate we talk about? I did not see me no birth certificate in the book.
How does a child have a name? And
have a name.
No birth certificate?
I don't know me. I'm
Come
not
on.
assuming that one. I'm not assuming that one. All I'm saying is,
Okay,
he finds out. Okay, the law in the state that they're in, does the law in that state say that he must keep that child? Did anybody do research for that?
See,
So if you guys so want to pin the thing on him, I say,
Okay.
his name is on
he's
there.
not pinning anything on anybody.
The law in that state says that if
thing.
your name is on there now, you must assume all responsibility for the
yes,
child.
actually,
Yes.
that is the law.
It's a law.
It's not the
They
law.
will
It's not
sue
a
him
federal law. It's not a federal law. It's a law by
But we
state.
are not
It's
going
not
to
a federal
federal
law.
court though.
No, we are not. It's just the thing. If you look at
All
the
I'm
context
saying
of
is
that
that-
book,
all
that
I'm
woman
saying
was
is that-
going through the exact same thing.
I
as
don't
this
give
guy.
a shit what she was
And
going
he
through.
was wrong.
I don't care. He was not wrong. He was
He
very
was
right.
wrong.
He was
He
very
was-
right.
He was wrong.
He was very right. He was
He was
very
wrong.
right to grieve the way he wanted to grieve.
So why
He was
is
very-
it
the one.
The same way as accepting that she should grieve that way, same way as he should grieve the way he wants to grieve.
But he's the
Yeah,
one
Keep
that
waiting from him. He went and
inserted
dropped off the
himself.
kid. See
He
the trouble.
inserted himself in the situation, right? Because AK, you said that he left what he was doing, accepted the child. So if you accepted the child, then you accepted all the possibilities that could come with the child. And when those possibilities became
Don't do that. No. It's like saying that man and woman are married. Woman now goes and get pregnant and come back, and then the man finds out, and the man decides to go. You go, oh no, because they're married, the man is supposed to must stay, or vice versa. Who says that they must stay? Who says that they must stay? A violation happened. And because of that violation, anybody can do what they want to do. Don't come and sit and tell me that, she's going to. Who gives a fuck? Nobody gives a flying fuck except you women. Because you're riding for your sisters.
Why is it that
If
the
this table
woman?
were flipped around, you people would not ride for that man.
But why is the woman? It's the woman's responsibility. I have fault, and she has to take all it for something that actually the same way that it has nothing to do with Chris has nothing to do with her.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I'm the one who has to come and sit here and define what grammar really means to you. Because if you really use grammar, you will see that her husband fathered another child. Another man carries the child that her husband fathers, come and give it to her. The father, the husband fathered it with her sisters. With her sister. Like, how else am I supposed to break it down to you?
Legally, that child is.
I don't talk about legality, fam. I'm
There's
talking about moral.
There's legality there.
I don't give a shit about legality.
The legality.
It's just morality. He gave the kid to the right person, to the right.
No, sir. On the birth certificate, his name is on there And by law,
I don't know why you keep
he's
talking about
responsible for
birth
that child.
certificate. There's no birth certificate in the book.
He's responsible for that child. I don't know what you're talking about. He's responsible for that child. So
This is my moral to the story today, or this is my conclusion. One, by all means, please, when your sister gets a boyfriend, go and become the best of friends with your sister's boyfriend. And then take shots with your sister's boyfriend. And when things go south, when you guys start giving each other's, when you guys start sharing each other personal stories, and then all of a sudden you fall in love, and then you start fucking and shit like that, don't come and stand and say, oh, it just magically happened to happen. Nonsense. You, in that situation, you had already been your sister's boyfriend from the jump. So you cannot twist it around. And that's the shit that most women always want to do. Come and sit down and be putting all these different clues and stack them up. But then if a man come and puts that same clues and stack them up, y'all got problems. But when women do it, there is not a problem. It's all right for my sisters, all right for my bitches and shit like that. Fuck out of here with that ideology. We don't want that shit. Let's meet reality where reality is. Anyways, that's my conclusion. What's you guys' wrong, please?
I understand where AK is coming from in terms of when it comes to abandonment, right? You leave the child with the closest relative. But there's also the point of being considerate, realizing that both of you are in this soup together. You people are in this situation together. So she has things that she's dealing with, and he's also dealing with situations. So to go and drop the child with her, all in the name of relative sake, is being inconsiderate, is saying your problems or my problem is not as more heavier than yours. So add this to your pile. Let me go deal with mine. And that's just what it is that sense of consideration, being considerate that she's also in the same mess. And like T said, she has been served triple dose. She was served, 3 espresso shots of craziness. It's all around. Sister, she's known for a long time. Sister, she considers next to her soul, was cheating with the husband. That's one. Your sister is cheating with your husband. That's one. 2, they had a child. And 3, they are dead. And they went cheating and they died. So yeah, it can be a little interesting. Yes. Yeah.
So because of all of that, he should be so empathetic, right?
He should have some consideration.
But yeah, T, what's your conclusion? I beg.
Read
You
this
can run
book.
it, run it.
It's a good book. It's plenty of angles to life. It's a lot of controversies, as you can see. Yeah, but I don't think it's that fictional. These are things that people face every day, different capacities. So it was a really good book. I look forward to watching the movie. Let's see. Movies usually read books, but we'll see.
Cheesy, man. Good lord.
Yeah.
I'm
not gonna watch it.
Like you see Mila? Don't worry. You come and tell me about Mila's character when you watch the movie. But Barbara, what's your I don't know if we even need a conclusion in a more self, but please just let us know.
what you said?
Here it comes. As I don't know if we even need a conclusion anymore, because I guess we can all just wrap up with your conclusion. We already know your conclusion. But please give it to us. Let's hear it. Give it to us.
See, Mila Adam is such a cute young man, and so I really hope that I develop his character more. But definitely go read the book. Is worth the read. It's an amazing book. I think it just, as T mentioned, it has a lot of real life examples that we can extrapolate and put in our own day to day. I don't wish Morgan's story on any human being, on anybody. It's not something that I wish on him. And I think she should have read that letter and go cuss those people out. Just saying, I don't care that they're dead or not. She should have read those damn letters. Still. Yeah. But it's a good read. Definitely worth your time.
I would not have buried it. I'll just let the state handle it.
I see. See, thank you, T. That's another part. I'd let that as well. Dig them up, sir. Nonsense.
The part that paid me was the part where she refused to go take the guy's car back. I'm like, that's a BMW.
Yeah,
man. What are we talking about? Anyways, that's just
The
me.
one thing I liked about the fact that she kept her nephew. Kids never had they had no buried in it, so she kept her nephew. I was very glad. Yeah. It made me happy.
Yeah, so. All right, let's recap, some of the key takeaways from this episode. There's Josie running back in again. Forgiveness isn't instant, it's a process. Honesty, even hard truths, beats productive lies. Parents and kids are both just doing their best with what they know. First love matters, but so does second chances. We all regret something. That's what makes us human, right? So, our next book that we'll be covering, we'll be reading. Drum roll, please. Only big bum matters tomorrow. Only big bum. You don't understand big bum. Big yash. You don't understand yash. Anyways, by Damila Kuku and some other people, but Damila Lare Kuku. There you go. Right? I said it right. Damilari Kuku. Yeah. Only big bums matter tomorrow. I cannot wait to. How many hours? It's 6 hours or some change. I'm reading this whole thing tomorrow. I'll pack this. But yeah. Regretting You by Colleen Hoover is what we read today. Please, guys, chime in the comment section, be it on Instagram, every social media or here on YouTube. Would love to hear your takes, especially if, for those who have read the book, especially if you think Jonah should have left the kid. No, if you think Jonah should not have left the kid with Morgan, or if you think he should have, let us know in the comment section, man. Let us know if I'm just being very insensitive or if the women are just, doing what they do best, right, for their sisters, be whether they're wrong or they are right, So, yeah. Rate this episode or your favorite podcast, like we said, with someone you love, who is stuck in the middle or not, your grandma, your aunties, family. Yeah, share it with them. Get them the book if you can. If you have Audible, use one of your Audible credits. If you don't, buy the book. Support your local artists. Remember, it's not about being stuck in the middle. It's about what you do while you are there. Keep it messy, keep it real, and keep it thoughtful. I am one of your hosts, or one of the book club panelists, Uncle K. Got my good sisters, Josie. You're going to Canada already. T, what's good with you? Barbara. Okay, no problem. This book was written for you. We'll just end it like that, Again, comment, let us know, subscribe if you've not. This is a monthly thing. We read one book every month. The year is almost over. Tomorrow is December. Everybody pay your. Yeah, the year is over. The month is in December is tomorrow. The year is over. Happy holidays to everybody, and catch you on the next one. Peace.